Hell of a game, Doug. Hell of a game. Are you kidding me? A win's a win. That's the bottom line. It says right here, Philadelphia Eagles, your first place Philadelphia Eagles, continue their domination of the NFC East at 3-4-1 following a 23-9 victory over the hated, the dreaded Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys down to the third quarterback, but that's okay. The Eagles filling it up, getting those 23 points, my goodness, off of turnovers, their own and Dallas's. Travis Fulgham. How about Travis Fulgham with a nice touchdown reception?
Whoopee, yeah.
Yes,
yeah,
indeed.
Woo.
And, I shudder to think of what it would have been like had Dak Prescott or Andy Dalton been a quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. But never mind that. The bottom line is, really, the Eagles get a win tonight going into their bye week. And we'll talk about the opponents coming out of that bye, the New York Giants, the Cleveland Browns, Seattle, Green Bay. We got all that. But they're in first place. And Al Michaels, just a few moments ago, and Chris Collinsworth presented a scenario by which the Eagles could win the division at 4-11-1. And if they do, then they win the division. But that said, Ray Didinger, Barrett Brooks, Seth Joyner, as we begin the program, and we will hear from Doug Peterson and Carson Wentz and many of the principals in this Eagles 23-9 victory, and it is a good thing. But, come on. It was a brutal football game. Absolutely. Am I right? It was a brutal football game. The miscues, the misplays, starting at quarterback were absolutely horrendous. And I'm sure more than just a handful of fans were wondering where Jalen Hurts was and whether or not he was ready to play the position. I'm sure of that because this is Philadelphia, and we knew that wasn't going to happen. But when you look at this game and this team, Barrett, what's your thought on this outcome?
I can't be happy when my best player sucks. I can't be happy that my quarterback had 4 turnovers. I can't be happy right now that even though we do win this division, we're not going any further than playing another game after that. We'll be in a place. This is a false narrative that we're playing under right now. We cannot afford to have a product as bad as that. We're talking about Didinger, a guy that shouldn't even be playing right now. He's not even, he's a scout team guy. He's used to running Philadelphia Eagles plays to play against the Philadelphia Eagles. He's a scout team player. The defense did a good job of stopping him, a great job of stopping him. They didn't get in the end zone. I'm happy the defense played well, but the offense should have rolled over this. It was a porous defense. This is not something that I can be really proud of. I don't know how I'm going to talk about this as we go forward because at this point, Carson Wentz is really, disappointed me in ways, I didn't think I could be disappointed when I'm talking about a franchise quarterback with the Eagles. I don't know.
Seth Joyner, you just heard Barrett Brooks say, I can't be happy when my best player stinks. He was a little more graphic than that. I liked it. And you played, I think, at the end of the Mike Schmidt era, when the great Michael Jack Schmidt played for the Philadelphia Phillies in this town. And he said, Philadelphia is the town where you can experience the thrill of victory and the agony of reading about it the next day. We're not going to read about it the next day. We're talking about it right now. We're talking about a win by the Eagles, but I'm sure there are many of us out there that are dissatisfied with what we're seeing. Your thoughts?
Listen, Mike, there is no doubt about it. At the end of the day, we're looking for Carson Wentz to find a level of consistency, and you just don't see it. I said a couple of weeks ago that we have a quarterback problem. I tweeted tonight that Carson Wentz is still a quarterback problem for this football team because, he will continue to say, I got to do better, I will do better, so on and so forth. But at what point in time do you do better? Some of the interceptions that he threw tonight were just horrific. The first sack and fumble that he lost was just horrific. At some point in time after 5 years, shouldn't you be, fixing the mistakes and fixing the wrongs and the things that you do wrong? He just does not seem to learn. He thinks that every play is supposed to work and every play is supposed to be successful. And, I put some of this on Doug Peterson because of the calls that he's making. You got Boston Scott, for a while that was averaging over 10 yards a carry, and all of a sudden you got away from the run game and you put the game in Carson's hands against an opposing offense that could do nothing whatsoever. Okay, so then you put your quarterback in a position where you want to highlight him and you want to make him the star. Where sometimes you have games where your defense is going to star and your running back is going to star and the quarterback's not going to be the highlight of the night. That's okay. It's okay to win games that way. But what does this do for the confidence of Carson Wentz to go out and turn the ball over 4 times, to have another passer rating of 63? To have to only complete almost less than 50% of his passes, and even though he had the two touchdowns, you got two boneheaded interceptions. This will catch up with this football team sooner or later. You guys talk about the 8 games that are remaining. The best I see this team doing is 3-4, 4-4 at the most. That's provided they get past, the Washington football team in week 15 or 16, whatever week that is. But no one can be happy with what they've seen because we've been consistently waiting for Carson Wentz to take the next step up, to equalize and play complementary football to what this defense is doing, and you're just not seeing it. So at what point in time do you ask yourself, are we going to see it? Or is this who he's going to be moving forward? And if that's the case, I don't think we have a snowball's chance of seeing another Super Bowl.
Yeah, well, hold on now. Don't say that. Now you're really scaring me. Ray, when you look at what Seth just said, 3-4, 4-4, would still be a division champion and hosting a home playoff game. And at what point should we be dissatisfied with that? I mean, I don't know if the Eagles could have beaten any of the other 31 or 30 teams that weren't playing tonight, No,
they barely beat these guys. Yeah, they barely beat these guys. So, yeah, Mike, this was just flat out pitiful, I said to you before the pregame show, I said that the Eagles and the Cowboys have been a primetime attraction on the networks for 17 straight years. Okay, this was the 17th straight year that Eagles-Cowboys was a primetime game. Do you think they're going to be a primetime game next year after this? I don't think so. After this stink bomb, I think that tonight we saw the end of the Eagles and Cowboys as a primetime attraction. This stunk, okay? In every possible way that it could stink, this stunk, okay? Now, I know there's history with Eagles-Cowboys, and I know there's a rivalry, and, it's something that they can talk about, and look, we talk about it. But when you get down to the reality of what these two teams are right now, they are bottom feeders, okay? The Cowboys are worse than the Eagles are, so that's why the Eagles are in first place. But this performance tonight, anybody that's watched the Cowboys through this season prior to tonight knows how just god-awful this Cowboys team is. In every way. They're one of the worst defensive teams I've ever seen. And you struggled to move the ball against this team. You turned the ball over 4 times against a team that was minus 13 and giveaway, takeaway coming in here. That's almost impossible to do, but they did it. And yet they come out with a win only because the Cowboys are just this bad. Okay, that's what it is. So now you got a whole week to try and regroup and refocus and look at what lies ahead. But it's very hard to be optimistic about where this thing is going because, Barrett said it and Seth alluded to it, and I got to go along with it. I mean, this team is going to go as far as Wentz carries it right now. And I think what we're looking at him is a week-to-week, quarter-to-quarter, series-to-series proposition where he goes from being really good and capable of winning games to what he was tonight, which is there were times tonight watching this game, I'm asking myself, which one's the rookie quarterback?
They could have switched jerseys. Yeah, close your eyes. You wouldn't have known.
And Didinger was really bad, okay, which we knew coming in. But Wentz matched him mistake for mistake for most of this game. And, you can say all you want about we're in first place. Well, okay, you're in first place, but you're in first place playing really, really bad football. And can they salvage this season? Can they get to the playoffs? I suppose, because the competition is so awful. But tonight, you huffed and you puffed and you struggled just to get by a truly dreadful football team. And, what's that say about you? Not a lot.
Yeah, perfectly put, all 3 of you.